There you go. You can do a bipartite URL user graph.
Yeah.
So that might be quite useful. So what you could do is you can identify those URLs that you think are particularly relevant.
Yeah.
Put them into the top here as a query, and then say of the users referring to these URLs, what are those users? And then that would tell you if there's a grouping. So it might be there's kind of a group that refers to one URL, but there isn't much crossover. Or it could be that a lot of people tend to refer to both these URLs anyway. That might be a way you can tell if there is, if there are groups that are referring to kind of bubble URLs,
Yeah. So
or if everyone's referring to everyone else's URLs.
So after that, I can use content analysis to see what they are talking about.
You could, absolutely, yeah. And once you've done the filtering, then you can just look at the networks, but you could also export the tweets themselves. And you could add a column which is URLs, for example. And then you could, live at that. But the point is there's lots that you can do once you get that data.
Yeah.
It's only going to be quite recent, but I think that will help you to address your question. And there's a nice combination of both here. So you've got remain, stronger in, vote leave, vote remain, and broader, EU referendum, leave EU, Brexit, EU. So you've got a really quite a wide selection of terms there. So hopefully you will see some clustering of people within that. Cool. So I think that would help you at least get started with the data.
It's very helpful.
You're welcome.
I just want to have the data and I can to find which specific questions to look at. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, I shall send a response to you. I'll CC in Nortje so she's aware that you've got this data sent.
Yeah, okay.
So that way kind of everyone's aware of what everyone else is doing. And I'll also briefly mention what we talked about as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of as a reminder, but it helps me if I search back, I can figure out what I've said and what I haven't.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hopefully it's going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think it's quite helpful.
In the data export runner because it may take a while. Good. It'll take about probably an hour or two to export and import the data. It'll take a while, so I'll just send an email through and let you know. Did you have any other questions about the method or?
Maybe the color code of the two parts.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Maybe like in this study, how can I to color the code?
Oh right, it looks like that visualization's been done with raw.
Yeah.
So I think what you would do is you would you can check on raw, but just in your CSV file.
Okay.
You'll just have all the URLs that you want to refer to. You might have a number for the size, and then you would have another column that would give the corresponding category.
Okay.
And then you would have the colours.
Yeah.
So just copying and pasting into raw. If you go to raw and look at their example data for that sort of visualization, it will give you a sense of how it should be structured.
Okay. Maybe I can also use Gephi.
Yeah,
to
I think Gephi would be a good option for
Yeah.
looking at those bipartite URL user graphs.
But I don't know if this study can show that the social media platform is participating in the creation of filter bubble. I think it's just like filter bubbles happened in the platforms.
I think it's very hard to show that social media creates bubbles. And that's because it's much more of a psychological question.
Yeah.
How do bubbles come about? I think in order to show that, you would have to, you'd have to interview people. You would have to look at their history over time.
Yeah.
That's all data you're not going to get access to. And so it's often sufficient to say that these things exist, and then you might be able to look at how they came about, or how they existed. So what are the URLs that are most associated with these bubble URLs?
Yeah.
Is it the case, for example, that perhaps certain platforms, certain websites, are most often used by people in particular groups? So could it be that outside of social media, there are these things that present a bubble?
Yeah.
This is your news source. And what you're seeing on Twitter is people just taking things from that news source.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing you could look at. And so then you might want to talk about the dynamics between social media and other platforms.
Okay.
It's not an ideal answer, but these things are very hard to understand and hard to get data on.
Yeah.
So you do the best with what you can, I guess.
Okay. Maybe I will have a lot of reference.
Well, that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, in lots of academic work, you do lots of references because other people have gone out there and found excellent points.
Yeah.
And they've found evidence to show some particular things.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Did you get the email about the reorganisation of
yeah.
this for Thursday?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So if you have a look at that and you've got any other questions, you're welcome to pop by on Thursday.
Okay.
And then we can always sit and go through stuff. You're very welcome.
Bye.
See you. Have a good day.
Have a good day.